And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, after this short break for match 2 of this match day here at the 7th week of the Elite Series League of Legends 2nd Division. Of course, Freshtana is still right there to accompany me and discuss tonight. Welcome back, Freshtana.
Yeah, thank you, Magus. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be with you for the whole day. It's always nice.
Yes, the pleasure is always shared, and casting some League of Legends with you, of course, always amazing thing to do. We're gonna see now the second match of tonight. We've already talked a bit about it. It's gonna be Once Upon a Team against AOMA ESPORTS. So one of the top ladder teams against the bottom ladder one. They have actually, I just saw a symmetric score currently 8-2-2-2-8. So AOMA going into this matchup as a clear favorite, but we know very well that upsets can always happen in League of Legends. You're never too far away from a surprise, and I would really give it to Once Upon a Team to get a win against AOMA tonight. That would be an amazing thing, but we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's in this game definitely a clear underdog and a clear favorite, and I think in this league it's fair to say that the clear favorite should win this game, just because Once Upon a Team really struggled to just find the wins, and AOMA really crushed some of the games, which they really just won on every single lane and stuff. So I think it's fair to say that AOMA definitely should have a good matchup here. But Once Upon a Team, and I think that's a really important thing, can with just some wins at least get out of this like last place zone, and maybe today they will start with that. We need to see if they can do that, but I think they have a tough schedule ahead, because they will need to play Rift Slots 2 times, and taking a game from Rift Slots is really hard, I would say. And then of course they have one more game against Protinex and this one game against AOMA. So Once Upon a Team, to get some wins here, they really need to do everything, and I think that's a really tough task.
Yes, of course. On the other hand, AOMA is gonna have a very chill week after today, because Friday they were set to play against Anvers, and so were they for next Wednesday. Anvers, which, as we mentioned earlier, haven't been disqualified, unfortunately, due to lack of getting a roster together. Their matches are now null, but they will have to get back into the seat and concentrate hard for the last match, the second one of technically week 4, but week 8 also because of the rescheduling, because they're going to be playing against Rift Sloth, so another one of those top of the ladder matches to end it beautifully. Yeah, so that should be very interesting as well. But right now, Once Upon a Team against AOMA Esports should also be an interesting match, as is pretty much any match we have here in the Elite Series 2nd Division. And here we have Champion Select, and that's a ban I really like to see against Gabush, because he was able to pick this Wukong so often, when I casted at least, that it almost started to make me sick physically. Of course, overstating, but very strong ban against AOMA Esports here.
Yeah, I really quite like it. And I think Garrosh is one of their carries in the team anyway, so just giving him like at least not his best champion is one way to strike such a match. And we see maybe even like a ban against Mark on the top lane, just because he is really strong as well. And we might even see like maybe a Draven ban here and there, just because BY is really one of those Draven mains in our league right now. So we need to see what they want to do. And of course, with Annie, they banned something against Once Upon a Team. And then we have the Zayaban, who is just really quite strong in the meta. And there's like the most played champion out for Neko in the jungle. So no tree in the jungle, at least if they don't want to play I1, of course.
Yes, most definitely. We're also banning an Annie and a Draven, who has been a pretty solid pick throughout. I mean, not the most popular one, but usually when picked, being a devastating pick. So good on them for banning him. And Aurelian Soul, which I think is the first time we see him in any shape or form here in the second division of the Elite Series League of Legends.
Yeah, because I think he was banned for the first couple of weeks because of the rework, and I think Spinto is probably the only player in our league who would play him. So just banning him definitely makes tons of sense. And there's a Kama, who is still a flex pick. And of course, talking about flex picks, there's Kragas and Tristana. And I think we already saw Lotus on the Tristana as well. So that could be the mid lane Tristana here again for AOMA. And the Kragas, of course, still is able to play top lane, is still able to play like the jungle, and there are even like mad lads who play him as support. I think one of the best Kragas support matchups is the Alistar, for example, just because you can stop his dash by dashing through him, and then your dash is stronger or something, so it's an unplayable matchup for Alistar. And but we will probably not see Kragas support, but it could be at least.
Yes, and I'm really happy for Once Upon a Team with those two picks. I mean, they have the Karma Caitlyn for the bot lane. Karma, who is overall a very contested champion here in the second division. Really strong right now. So is Caitlyn, and overall, it is an absolutely horrible lane to play against with all that poke, and you need to be so careful where you step. So that's a very solid one on them.
Yeah, like Karma Caitlyn, Lux Caitlyn, all those lanes who will just push you in over and over again and poke you down. As a Blitzcrank, if you don't get poked and just hook one of them, you win the lane. But if you get started to get hooked and then you poked and you can't connect with your hook, then you're pretty useless. I believe in one of my games with my own team, where we draft like Caitlyn Lux against Blitzcrank, my bot lane just said Blitzcrank is unable to play the game, and then we won the game. So they definitely had something with that. But especially Edward, who is a phenomenal support player and main Blitzcrank player, definitely knows how to play it. And Once Upon a Team hasn't the strongest bot lane in our league, so just maybe landing one or two hooks is maybe possible. So we need to see what they want to draft together with the Blitzcrank, because it could be the Tristana as the ADC, but it could be the Tristana in the mid lane, and we maybe see an ADC now. Why it's just the Yasuo, and I quite like the Yasuo, especially with the Kragas and with the Blitzcrank already.
Yeah, absolutely. Some great opportunities to set him up for success and set him up for that nice, juicy ultimate. Very nice pickup there. And AOMA also keeps the last pick for themselves, which is going to give them an edge in order to round it out very beautifully, even if Once Upon a Team does find an answer to what they've got up to now.
And there's still so many flex picks in the air. I mean, Kragas still is flexible, the Tristana, the Yasuo, so they didn't lock in like their main draft right now. So there's still a chance that we could see Yasuo top lane against the Na. I mean, back then, Na only had two big counter picks. It was the Yasuo and the Aurelia, I believe. So everything changed a little bit. New champions came out, and so Na got nerfed back then. But it could be still the Yasuo top lane, for example. But I probably would expect them to go to the top lane, actually. I mean, I predicted it almost. But then I somehow didn't trust myself, and now it's the Yasuo top lane anyway. So that's a really cool pickup there with the Kalista in the end.
Is definitely able to maybe surprise a bit Once Upon a Team there, and I think Kalista, a champion who should be more or less comfortable going up against a lane like Caitlyn, Karma, because you have all of that mobility. You're pretty hard to be aimed at. Plus, with her ultimate, you do have the strong engage possibility, which you with Blitzcrank, you have the fact that you need to land that hook in order to get purchase there, but with that Kalista ulti, you don't need to. You just ult, he goes, you throw him in there, and fine, you have your engage. What are Karma and Caitlyn going to do against that? But Caitlyn can maybe move a bit, but Karma can just root you, and against a Blitzcrank in your face, it's not going to do much. If you're even able to get your abilities out, if he's faster with his own ultimate, you can have a rough time getting any ability out.
Yeah, and usually you can say that against the poke composition, and it's probably something I would say about so Once Upon a Team there, that they have a poke draft. The best way to play against poke is with hard engage. So just drafting a Kalista for some more engage is definitely a good plan. And with this Kalista, actually, they have a knock-up on every single champion. So Tristana with the ultimate, knock-ups a little bit. Then, of course, we have Gragas, we have the Blitzcrank knock-up. So now every single lane has set up for the Yasuo. Every single lane has set up to set them up in those team fights. So that's definitely a good pickup. And namely, any ADC who has a knock-up, except Kalista and Tristana, there are not that many. So just picking this champion was a good idea by AOMA, and especially against like the underdog team with such an early game composition with the Tristana, with the Kalista, with a lot of lane bullies, even a winning top lane matchup with the Yasuo. You will just try to snowball. You will just try to like win this game after 20 minutes, and just don't give them any chance of hope. And I think Once Upon a Team has some early lane draft as well. Of course, with the bot lane, Caitlyn Karma has the early prio anyway. So you can play around that. You can at least try to play around that. But in the end, it will be a tough game. And Once Upon a Team need to do everything they can.
Yeah, definitely, because they are against an already tough opponent, and we've got to give it to AOMA. They played this draft really well. They kept the cards pretty hidden with those flex picks, and I think it was the champ select where those flex picks have been the most leverage up to now in this split. At least that's the impression I have. And here we have the game, who have a small problem in terms of loading that will be fixed very quickly. It does happen sometimes with the League client. We get thrown back to the cabs for it to calm itself a bit. We've already had an issue like that. I believe Friday we had that.
Yeah.
It seems like it's
with the teleporting champions. Yeah, and I think it just has something to do with Riot being like the small indie company. I believe I heard there's just one programmer, like in a really dark room, and he doesn't get paid very well. So I believe that's the reason behind like lagging in game. I mean, how can they afford like a stable game? It's not possible. So yeah. I think we definitely shouldn't expect too much, and I can understand why it lagged. I mean,
but to be fair, it's way more fun if you just teleport around. No, like walking, it's such a pain.
Yeah. And I mean, this little programmer just invented teleporting. I mean, just go into the science of the world and just ask them how long will it take that we humans can teleport, and he will say probably 1 million years from now or something. But I mean, our guy from Riot just invented teleporting right now. I mean, what an incredible dude! And with that, hopefully we get back into the game soon, because it's definitely a banger matchup, and I would even say that AOMA has the chance of just winning this game in under 20 minutes. At least it would be possible for such a team against Once Upon a Team. With such an early game draft comp, they could do it, but Once Upon a Team will definitely give their best. Oh,
It's already some strong action here in the early game from AOMA. Is to be expected when you have a Blitzcrank, but I guess they did go a bit of the surprising route there. Usually we see people invading into the jungle, trying to be sneaky, but no, this time around they're just like, nah, we're just gonna walk down the mid lane, try to see if we get something there.
yeah. And I think that's a cool thing we just saw there. Normally, Kalista players just place the spear instantly on the support, but with that they wouldn't have done such an invade because Blitzcrank dies for a short period of time, and so this little invade, this little like level 1 play wouldn't be possible if you just spear him instantly. So they just invaded, and after the invade they speared him. So just a little tech there coming out from AOMA. And now mid lane is flashless, especially against Kragas and Tristana. You could definitely try to go for a sneaky little mid lane play, and Tristana already jumping in and getting some hits.
Yes, that's already pretty rough. Lotus being very aggressive there, getting quite a bit of damage out on Spinto there.
And those lanes will just be really difficult to play. Even top lane is really hard to win as a Gnar. Maybe with level 6, maybe as a Mega Gnar, you can try to trade, you can try to all in. But especially as Mini Gnar, you just get engaged every single time. You can just dash through the minions, so the range advantage isn't really there. And in the end, as Mini Gnar, you aren't really tanky, so Yasuo will just win every single short trade, and in the later stages he can just run you down. So it's a really not that great matchup, you could say. And especially if you just look at the mid lane situation, Tristana already like positions herself, or was positioning herself to the bot side, so that Syndra walked a little bit to the top side, and with that Garbush could have went for a gank, but didn't. So already like small little moving stuff going on the lanes. I'm really excited about it.
Yes, definitely already doing the work in the lanes. Now he might have, tried a gank in that bot lane, but unfortunately we're a bit too far ahead, and AOMA is able to fall back quickly. Here we have the tower dive from Gebüsch, puts some damage on Cutlight as well. Flash E, that's first blood going to Muck.
Yeah, really well played there. I mean, wasn't the best dive, but it was good enough at least. Mark needed to flash there. I think if they just wait a little longer, then with the wave they can just tower dive normally. But I believe just because Cutlight went a little bit too far, Garbush just saw the engage and just went for it.
And once he did a first update gank, and now he already does a second one on the mid lane. Gebüsch already very, very well into this game, giving 2 kills to his team.
Yeah, and he plays around the strong lanes. I mean, that's something we definitely see here, that Jarvan just tries to play around his strong lane, while Garbush just plays around his own strong lane. So both junglers definitely know where the carries are for their own team. And at the moment, at least for AOMA, everything works out, while Jarvan just loses a lot of time with those ganks where he doesn't get any payout. And we already see like the boots rush coming out for Garbush, so a lot of damage. And maybe there's a successful gank coming up if they get the hook.
There we go, we have the W coming in with the Q. The hook goes into Esker. Quite a bit of damage falling on the enemy AD carry. He is probably gonna die, but he gets the return kill on Boo. Is very nicely played from the Caitlyn player, but Gebüsch does pick up the kill. Pull up onto Toto, but it's not enough. Well played.
Yeah. Jarvan is around top lane. They maybe try to do something there, but especially like really well played by Esker, just getting the kill on Beavis, who was a little bit too aggressive with his health pool. And I think he got like a big chunk from Mantra Q and probably from the Peacemaker, so he just got bursted down.
Again on the mid lane, Lotus with the aggression gets the kill onto Spinto. It's perfect timing, his abilities. Right, 2-0 ahead. And will now be able to get a considerate lead in terms of CS, because you gotta give it to Spinto, even though he's playing against such an aggressive matchup. Is able to keep was able to keep it rather well with the CSing up to now.
Yeah, that's true. He got a lot of creeps, but there could be the gank against the Yasuo.
Yes, Neiko coming in with the EQ, unfortunately misses. We have the level 6 on Mark. He does find purchase with the knockup, and Neiko now on to Mark, is trying to look for the kill and does get it. Late Mark maybe a bit too greedy on there, trying to still get the kill on Cutlight. Unfortunately dying for that.
Oh, well played by Neiko. Just getting a kill, just getting Cutlight a little bit ahead at least, and they fight back, which I really like to see. That Once Upon a Team is trying their hardest to not lose this early game, and at the moment it's quite working. I mean, especially Jarvan doing a good job right now. I mean, after losing a lot of time there, just getting a successful gank in is always good to have. And now there's the roam.
So we have that one hitting the hook, and Gabush with the stun. That's enough to get the kill onto Spinto. And Lotus now on a killing spree, already 3-0. Just looking really well for AOMA, because as you've said, they do have this very strong early comp, and they are doing everything they can in order to use that. And here we have another gang on the middle lane, bot lane, Toto already getting quite some damage, Eska as well. And this time around, I don't think they will be able to get that kill on Buis. No, the damage is already too high. Follow up on Toto, hook misses. With that flash, Toto is able to survive.
Was a close call there. In the end, at least one kill for the Tristana, and Gabush might go for this. Ooh.
On the mid lane again, some action, as AOMA just doesn't stop with the moves, with the kills, with the aggression. We pick a 4th kill on Lotus.
And just seeing the movement of Lotus was really amazing. I mean, he sneaked around the brushes to get from behind to Spinto, and especially after he got like the flash from Spinto, the lane officially now is over, because without flash you can't get away from the Kragas, you can't get away from the Blitzcrank, you can't get away from the Tristana. So I mean, that's really crucial, and now you just lose plating after plating, and this Tristana can just always jump on you. I mean, she has no difficulties to just kill you every single time she gets onto the lane, so that could be really hard to play for Spinto.
Yes, we're once again right there with Edward Agabush, and the two just keep on moving around the map, looking for the roam, for the kill, and they just don't stop. I mean, Buis with a Kalista is pretty safe on the lane, but without a wave, this bot lane of Caitlyn Karma is pretty dangerous.
Oh, there's a top lane dive. Probably knock up.
Top lane dive, yeah, here comes the knock-up with the ultimate, but the TP coming in from Spinto. Now 2v2, we can do something, but no, Lotus is right around the corner, and we get the kill onto Cutlight. Spinto now also getting some damage in as Neiko comes in. Lotus very low, is able to get away with the rocket jump. Mark now has to be very careful, as they do get the kill onto him for Neiko. On the other side, on the bot lane, Edward and Buis doing the matchup on the bot lane. Buis gets the kill onto Eska. Toto now all alone is going to try to survive, but I don't think that he's going to be able to. And no, here's a double kill for Buis. So both teams do get quite some money out of this. AOMA with a slight advantage from this this exchange.
Yeah, and I really like the play of Edward. I don't know if you saw it, but he always tried to be in front of Kalista so that the Karma Qs will not get her, because Karma was really low. So the only chance how Karma could at least trade 1-for-1 there is by killing Kalista, and of course, ooh,
Who got it? No, What was able to get it. Gabush is gonna die now. Lotus in the middle of to What. Mems does get the kill on to Neko. Has to be careful because Cutlight is gonna have Magagna there, and we have Spinto coming in along with Toto. We do get the shutdown onto Lotus. Nicely played from the top lane of Once Upon a Team. We had some damage on the rest of them. Mak misses the knock-up. This is maybe the chance to get a kill on him. As Spinto does quite a bit of damage. No, here comes the knock-up from Edward. Spinto is forced to flash away. We try to get on the kill on Toto. It's Mak who's gonna die now. Edward all alone has to flee the two members of Once Upon a Team, but I don't think he's gonna be able to do so, as Once Upon a Team picks up quite a few kills there. Nicely played from Spinto and Toto. Beautiful.
Yeah, and in the end, I think they even got the Herald. So that was really, really risky there by Gabush. And of course, even Lotus just jumped into like 2 people and... Oh, yeah, Toto was dead. So that was a crazy team fight by Once Upon a Team who really outplayed it. In this, I think it was a 3v4 or something. So with the man advantage, they definitely like won it. Or no, it was even a 4v4. I mean, Edward was there. So just winning against the fielded Tristana, that's really, really strong by Once Upon a Team. And they can at least hold on to the game a little bit.
Yes, definitely. I mean, they're not letting themselves be rolled over, and that's very nice to see. Once Upon a Team being able to do quite a bit of stuff here. Neko now in the also rather good position, 3-1-1, sitting well there, getting quite a few items. Now Lotus being so aggressive, we expect him to go all in on Spinto. He is not, however. I think the election is lured. And now on the top lane, Cutlight does find some aggression on Mak, does some nice damage with Magagna. Gabush after that, Drake comes in towards the bot lane. Advert is also there. We get some damage already out onto Eska. Will not be able to survive this. So is the case for Toto. And yeah, I mean, AOMA is still very solid on their feet, but we saw that Once Upon a Team is able to get some blows into them.
Yeah, and there we could see all that Hard Engage is always strong against those poke lanes. You can just run them down, and as long as they don't have a lead, they can't even kill you while they're running away. So really, really well played by AOMA. And they even got the first turret now, the first Drake. Lost the first Herald, but that's fine. And we saw a glimpse of the matchup on top lane when Ma gets Mega. He can trade really, really well. Those short trades with the CC. But especially as Minina, he can just always get engaged by the Yasuo. And there's Gragas, there's Gabush, so there could be a kill on the Na.
Yeah, here we have the other light on the ultimate on Cutlight, and he does try to survive, but it's not going to be enough. With all the CC, even in Magagna, Cutlight is not able to survive this. In the meantime, we have Toto coming into the mid lane alongside Neko. Lotus can't do much against 3 people. It's some nice person damage, but enough for 3. But Gabush and Advert now coming in 3v3. AOMA is going to be able to find the aggression there. Hook misses, which is really good for Once Upon a Team. He gets some money from this Playtex, but Spinto has to be careful as he gets a lot of damage from Lotus. Is able to flee with the rocket jump, even though the power was unleashed onto him. Very nice cast here from Gabush as Toto is pushed away from the mid lane in danger zone, and they pick up a second kill here on the mid lane.
And 1v1 on the bot lane. I mean, he almost got her in. He almost got Eska there, but...
Oh, here we have Neko who went a bit in, and Cutlight joining in to help him out. As the members of AOMA eSports are quite low. No, nothing more. Sorry.
Oh, it's so close. I mean, and I really like how Once Upon a Team is fighting this game. I mean, just from the standings, you could say, yeah, Once Upon a Team just gets crushed, 20 minutes, GG, whatever. But no, they try, they fight, and especially like Neko on this Jarvan, even though like the first couple of ganks didn't went as he wanted to, or Gabosh did a lot of things right in the early. He's still doing his part. He's still 3-1 and still just trying to support his team. Even Cut like yeah, he gets engaged sometimes, but then he has like his good moments in the game, and yeah, it's just really a close one. But we already see 2 BTs there in the pockets of AOMA, so a lot of lifesteal, a lot of sustain, a lot of survivability. So those fights are really, really hard to play for Once Upon a Time. But there's a trap. on Lotus. 3 people.
3 people for Lotus, who does smell it. It's weird that Neko comes in onto me alone. Lots of damage falling onto Eska, but they do get the shutdown. Now Gabush comes in for the revenge, gets it onto Eska, might also get Toto, as they decide to just disengage this, because 2v1 is not doable against this Van Gragas. He's 6-1 and does a load of damage.
Yeah, I mean, this fat little man just was on a duty to kill some people. I mean, just running in 1v3, just getting a casual double kill there. Well played by Garvish. And with this item build, he will just one-shot almost everybody. I mean, none of them is really tanky, even though, like, Gnar is a little bit tanky, and there's, like, a Jarvan who is a little off-tank, but still both just did a lot of damage right now, so they will probably just get one-shotted by Garbosh as well. So this Gragas could be one of the craziest damage dealers in this game, together with the Stana.
Yes, I mean, they do completely insane damage. Both of them. We saw his damage early on the bot lane. We also saw Lotus's damage on multiple occasions. Just threading through the enemies, doing so much damage. It's only the start of the strict Stana for now. What does try to take that Herald here with 4 people, but AOMA is just around the corner, ready to contest. Sorry. And we have the reset. Getting it all back to 0.
Oh, they sit in the brush, they want to contest it.
Yeah, here comes Edward. He does get Neko going all in onto Bois and gets called back as it looks quite good for what until Gabush comes in with that ultimate, followed up by Max. Ultimate now Cutline all alone with Neko. Are they going to be able to do much? We do get the Gnar onto Bois, but he's able to get back out with all of those dashes. And that looks really good for AOMA. 4 kills and a free Herald.
Yeah, especially the start of this fight looked promising just because Edward just took the Scuttle Crab, so he couldn't really get someone, then needed even to get ulted out by Kalista. So that was not the best start, but of course Garbush and Mark just carried this team fight with their wombo combo, and yeah, if you just get hit it by at least 2 or 3 if you just hit like 2 or 3 with the Gragas ult, then this team fight is over, because there's so much burst from 2 people. You just get knocked up, and even though Cutlike did an amazing job there in the team fight, almost killed Bewiz, he had not enough damage and the heal was enough to get Kalista out. So was a close one until it wasn't, and yeah, and we will probably just see in the next couple of minutes that every single time both teams just clashes to each other, that Once Upon a Team with their Wombo combo will just run them over.
Yes, and we can see that they're already very keen on trying to finish early. In 19th minute already hitting into the base of Once Upon a Team on the bot side. Neko looks for purchase there. We don't find it. It's Cutlight who gains a lot of damage, and we do use the Cataclysm to get the enemy stuck, but get thrown back in by Edward's hook. And we do get a kill onto Bois this time around. Shutdown going to Spinto, but we ourselves 2 losses now. Lotus in the middle of it gets quite some damage onto Eska himself, getting very low, however. But it's Mak who gets the kill onto Pinto. Now, with only our bot lane left and a Herald in our base, I don't think we're able to do very much on sides of Once Upon a Team. Cutlight and Neko coming back very soon, but are they going to be back soon enough? Because first, Nexus turret has fallen. Second one is going to fall in a matter of seconds as well. Now Toto is going to die as well. We're 3 versus 5 fat people. Now we get a charge even on that Nexus. No, never mind. Cutlight now all alone. Gets them thrown into the fountain. Quite a damage. Double kill going to Once Upon a Team. But I do believe, I was hoping they were going to try to force this, because I think Lotus could do it. Splinter's ultimate is on cooldown, so there is no unleashed power to use on them. I believe they could have gone for it.
Yeah, but don't risk it. I mean, in the end, they got enough, and it was a really good base race there. But what Cutlight did there was just amazing. I mean, just pushed 2 guys into the fountain. I think it's his most played champion in the solo queue. It's his iconic pick, and he's just carrying in his team. I mean, not carrying, but I mean, just because of Cutlass, they are still sitting in this game. He just got a lot of shutdowns there for himself. So he has probably a lot of gold. If we can just get a glimpse look before he is in base, or we can, he's just. I mean, he has 2K in his pocket. I mean, that's a lot of gold. So you probably could just bought a whole item or something, and he has probably the Runduin's no finish just because they are like 2 champions who will crit a lot. So it's a good pickup as a tank.
Yep. Absolutely, but AOMA is now back into the base, and with that open Nexus, they can just finish, get some kills onto Splinter, very nice. Splitting Cask again onto Eska, gets quite a bit of damage, and what falls to the Fountain Turret. They have to be careful to not just die to the Fountain Turret. Now Boris is caught into Cutlight, who does quite a bit of damage. In the meantime, Mark also very low from damage from one of those upon the team, but Lotus does finish Eska off, and now they finish the Nexus and take the win.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, there was a clear favorite, and they could have won in under 20 minutes, but they didn't. It was 21 minutes, so they just did what AOMA always does. They just win really, really cleanly against those bottom tier teams, and yeah, with that, they just sitting on, I think, 9 wins, and if we just add those 2 wins against Adverse, then they are sitting on 11 wins. So that's scary, but still they have 2 losses, and with that, Rift would still go ahead of them.
Yes, most definitely, because they are going to be playing next against Dynasty. We might take a look at the results also now, since 2 matches have been played, to get a bit of a reminder of what happened up to now and what is going to happen later on. So we had the first match, Reapers against Pertinax, where Reapers played really well, took a win against Pertinax, demarking themselves at the 4th spot for now at least. And now we just had, we have a small issue with the logos there. Of course, it is AOMA and not Once Upon a Team on the lower logo. We'll get that fixed soon enough. And now next up, we have another very, very big match coming up.
Yeah, it's Rift's loss against a Dynasty. So it's like the battle of place number 1 and 2 or something, or place number 2 and 3 right now. And that's definitely a banger to go out of with this stream, because we have no 4th game, of course. But I think it was funny that we saw just Once Upon a Team winning against Once Upon a Team. It's the only chance they get a win if they play against each other. No, that's just a bad joke for me. But yeah, it was just funny to see. Anyway, I think we will go probably into a short break. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, we will go into a short break and see you soon in around, like, I don't know how many minutes, when Dynasty plays against Bristol.
See you.